Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today, the question that I will be answering is, why did Jesus compare the end times to the days of Noah? So let's begin by reviewing what Jesus Christ said. In Luke chapter 17, verses 26 to 27, he told us, "And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all." What Jesus meant by this comparison is that when he would return as king to rule in the midst of his enemies, there would be many things happening. Spirituality would be booming, churches would be flowering, economic development would be skyrocketing, industrialization, technological development, right? But as a result of all of those things, people would become ignorant and unaware of his coming. What's kind of unique about the way Jesus would return is that it would happen like the way a tree grows, right? When you plant the seed, Jesus Christ gave the example of the mustard seed, right? When you plant it, it's very small, it's tiny, it's insignificant, and it can easily be overlooked, right? So similarly, when Jesus would begin to reign, people would just think that, oh, well, this is just things continuing as they've always been, right? As Peter said, scoffers would say, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. If you read 2 Peter chapter 3, verses 3 to 4. And that was why Jesus Christ said he would come as a thief. Not because he's hiding, but because his rule would manifest in that manner. If you read Revelation chapter 3, verse 3, and chapter 16, verse 15. So it's only those who understand how spiritual things work who'd be able to see the hand of God working in world events. Okay? For example, when Noah was building the ark for those 120 years, things were normal. People were doing their thing. Nobody really took it seriously. In fact, a lot of people were probably thinking Noah was a little crazy until the rain started falling. Until what God said began to fulfill heavily. And it was at that point people realized that the ark was actually built for that purpose, but it was too late, because at that point, as Jesus Christ said, the door was shut. You read Matthew chapter 25, verse 10. And what does this mean for us, right? We know Christian history, it's lasted for about 2,000 years, and for most of those 2,000 years, people did all kinds of things with Christianity. They built churches with it, they set up customs and traditions with it, they made alliances with political leaders with it. We know of Holy Roman Empire, popes uniting with kings and all these things, and they used it to in many cases, dominate many other parts of the world. But now, all of a sudden, that dominance is over. Science and secularity has come in like a flood, and those who've built their faith on Christian customs and traditions, instead of a true understanding of who God is, they're now being swept away by this flood. You see a lot of people converting from Christianity to atheism, and even those who are still Christians, their Christianity is getting weaker and weaker. It's becoming more modern and secular. And why is this happening? Well, it's because Jesus Christ wants to refine the church and only retain those who actually mean it, right? Jesus Christ said that he would gather out of his kingdom all things that offend. So the presence of secularity is helping to gather insincere ones out of the kingdom so that it's the sincere ones that will remain. It was described as refining in Zechariah chapter 13, verses 8 and 9. It was described as gathering, those out of his kingdom in Matthew chapter 13, verses 41 to 42. The point is, all of these things also happened in the days of Noah, right? You had the ark in which the children of God gathered, and they were separated from those who didn't know him. That separation now is a spiritual kind of separation, whereby those of us who know what's happening spiritually will be able to understand what's going on and not become victim of it. Will live the way God wants, whereas those who don't have this knowledge, they'll live the opposite way. Okay, so it's not a physical thing, like, as it was in the days of Noah, right? Similarly, there's going to be a flood, physical flood, the whole world's going to be destroyed and there's going to be this apocalypse. No, not in that sense. It's a spiritual thing. But it compares in the sense that people would be equally unprepared and taken by surprise. Okay? So I think that helps hopefully helps to explain how the day of Noah connects with the end times that Jesus Christ was talking about in Luke chapter 17 from verse 26 to 30. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate if you click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so that you'll be aware of when we come back with future videos just like this. Okay, have a great day, and God bless you.